This video I'm going to unbox and assemble the Mountio GS-80 single monitor desktop mount as well as the GS-87 dual monitor mount, which both can support from 17 to 27-inch monitors weighing up to 14.3 pounds. So after figuring out how to open the box for the GS-80, I'm going to take all the parts out and remove the plastic from the monitor arm and the clamp that gets attached to it. Next, I'll undo the Velcro strap that is holding the arm together and then spin the top of the arm around so I can lay it out flat on the workbench. Now I will take a look at the installation manual that starts with a parts list and then goes on to diagram a table edge installation, followed by a diagram for a grommet installation. The manual also shows the adjustable parameters and rotation restrictions for the monitor arm. So moving on to the included hardware, I'll use my utility knife to cut open the packaging and start removing parts that I will use for the installation. Next, I want to figure out how to attach the part with the clamp onto the arm, and I can see that I will need the 3 screws in the packaging with the label C, so I'll cut that section open to remove the screws. Then I'll line up the 3 holes for the screws in the L bracket over the holes in the arm and start the screws before tightening them all up with the smaller Allen wrench that came with the hardware. And now that the bracket and clamp are installed on the arm, I'll remove the rest of the hardware from the packaging so I can install the monitor, and then I will store the leftovers in the box. Here I will insert the round black pad into the top of the clamp before trying to slide the arm and clamp onto the edge of the tabletop just off camera. But there is not enough room, so I will need to move the clamp down on the L bracket, so I will do that by first removing the screws that hold it onto the bracket using the larger Allen wrench. Then after I have both screws out, I will move the clamp down one space so it is now in the middle of the bracket, and I will put the screws back in and tighten them up all the way. And now I can run the clamp up until it's closer to the spacing I need to secure it to the edge of the tabletop, and then I'll try again, which this time I can attach it for further testing. The arm seems to move smoothly around, but I don't have the monitor attached yet, and that is the real test, so I will try to figure out how to adjust the arm for when it does have the monitor. So after gathering up all the hardware, I'll take a look at the warning label that comes attached to the strap that holds the arm together, and it warns about the arm springing out after removing the strap. And the other side warns me about the preset torque being set at minimum and to check the manual for more details about adjusting the arm after the monitor has been installed. So I'll check to make sure that the larger Allen wrench that came with the arm is the one I need to adjust it, and it is, so I'll move on to installing the monitor. The arm has 2 hole patterns, one for 75 by 75 millimeter and the larger one for 100 by 100 millimeter, which is the one I'll be using, so I will make sure I have the arrow on the mount pointing to the top of the monitor. The mount is designed to allow the installer to start 2 screws on the top and then slide them over the top mount, but since I have the monitor laying flat, I decided not to do it that way. So after I have all my screws started, I'll use my drill gun with a Phillips head bit inserted and drive all 4 screws down that I cut out of the packaging. Finally, I'll use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten all 4 screws the rest of the way, and that is all I need to do to mount the monitor to the arm. So next I will clamp it back onto the edge of the tabletop and turn the adjustment screw counterclockwise until the arm has enough pressure to hold the monitor up. Then I will test out the movement with the monitor installed, and it seems like it will work fairly well for what I'm planning to use it for. Now I'm going to take a look at the dual desktop mount, which is essentially the same arm as the single mount, but there's 2 of them attached together at the base. So I will open the box and pull the hardware out, which is essentially the same hardware that comes with the single monitor mount, but it's a little different for the grommet installation, which I will show here shortly. I will take the plastic off the arms and test out the movement, and they feel similar to the single arm, which is expected because it looks like the arms are manufactured out of the same parts. Now looking at the installation manual, it also starts with a parts list, but the first thing after that is how to install USB lines that are sold separately. Then it also has the table edge and grommet installation diagrams along with the adjustable parameters and rotation restrictions. Next it shows diagrams for installing the power and display cables, diagrams for installing the monitor, how to adjust the torque on the arm to hold the monitor up, and setting the tilt angle and swivel positions. Now I'm going to cut all the hardware out of the packaging and take the plastic off the clamps and wire management parts so I can start assembling the base for a grommet installation. The grommet installation has a bolt that goes through a hole in the desktop, so I won't need the clamps or cable management parts that get clipped onto the brackets. So the first thing I'll do is slide the bolt through the thick triangular shaped metal plate and make sure the square just below the head of the bolt slides down into the square hole cut into the plate so the bolt won't turn. Then I place the metal plate over the bottom so the holes in the plate line up with the threaded holes in the base, and put the screws from the C-packet in, and then use the smaller Allen wrench to tighten them up. And finally I would just slide the bolt through the hole in the desktop, put the round metal plate on with the indented side towards the base, and then put the wing nut on the bolt to tighten it up under the desk. Hopefully this video has helped, and feel free to ask any questions that you still may have in the comments. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe for more quick and on-point videos.